House of Representatives kicks out bill seeking 6-year single term for president and governors. Federal Inland Revenue Service begins nationwide crackdown of tax defaulters. In international news, Trump's impeachment vote about to begin. And in sport, Tunisian club Experience finished 5th in World Club Cup.
This is ANN News.
I am Olajumoke Olatuji. Cross River State Chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress, Ben Ukpekpe, has been kidnapped at his residence in Akwabuyo local government area. The State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Irene Ugbo, confirmed that Ukpekpe was kidnapped in the evening. Ugbo says the anti-cultism and kidnapping units are on top of the situation to rescue him. The House of Representatives has kicked against a bill seeking to change the tenure of presidents, governors, state and federal lawmakers and other public officials to a 6-year single term against the current 4 years, 2-term system. Some of the lawmakers say the bill could be easily interpreted as a suspicious move to extend the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari. Others say nothing is wrong with the current system of the 4-year terms for the president and governors, but more focus on the country's electoral system and better living standards for Nigerians. Some lawmakers who agree with the bill say passing it would save the country's funds used to conduct elections every 4 years. At the end of the debate, more lawmakers rejected the bill. The Federal Inland Revenue Service says it will begin a nationwide street tax enforcement exercise on defaulters on Wednesday. The agency has given a 7-day grace period to defaulters to settle their tax liabilities to avoid interruptions in their operations. The tax is covered by the enforcement of petroleum profit tax, companies income tax, value-added tax, withholding tax, tertiary education tax, NITDA levy, stamp duty and capital gains tax. Emir of Kano Alhaji Muhammadu Sanusi II has charged northern governors to focus more on education by voting enough money to improve the sector in the region. Sanusi was speaking in Kaduna at the annual commemoration lectures of Malam Haruna Soba, the first northerner to become Chief Education Officer in charge of teacher training. Emir Sanusi says if enough funds were allocated to education, every state in the region would be better off for it. He expressed worry over increasing number of out-of-school children and the decline in education in northern Nigeria. Justice A.T. Badamasi of Kano High Court has ruled on Tuesday that Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has the right to interfere in Kano Emirates Kingdom. The court also declined to grant an extension on the interim order stopping Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje from interfering with the powers of the Kano Emirates kingmakers. The ruling means the governor is now effectively capable of exercising the powers under the new Kano State Emirates Council Law of 2019. This includes the power to dethrone any emir found violating any of the provisions of the law. The Nigerian Employers Consultative Association has reacted to a resolution by the Senate. The government should start paying stipends to unemployed Nigerians. The Director General of NECA, Timothy Olawale, applauded the Senate's resolution. He says it would reduce drastically the high number of unemployed youths should it come into effect. Olawale has called for an availability of accurate data of the number of Nigerians qualified to benefit from such social security gesture.
Coming up, African stories. Kenya launches railway cargo service. And later, international news. Trump's impeachment vote gets underway.
Today, night don't reach for me to settle blessing. Blessing for you. When this girl first got this my shot called network. Now so on top of NTL 4G phone. Now this girl could press. I provoke. I no shot in reach one time, eh? The ambulance make her tell her to make she mash her at come out from my shop. And later I go realize say this girl go snap am, put her for inside internet. They take her they do adverts. Now I make customers that they come with my shop. Blessing, I want make you help me manage my shop number 2.
Madam, but I think Nami and Blessing start work the same time.
Now you and Blessing start work the same time. Blessing, you better start on the T-shirt for top of your 4G MTN phone.
Business makes sense on top super fast and reliable MTN 4G. Join MTN, make you enjoy double data.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. Now to African stories. Kenya has launched a railway freight service and an inland container depot on Tuesday. President Uhuru Kenyatta said the Nairobi to Naivasha service and the new container depot would revolutionize the transportation of bulk cargo through the country and across the East Africa region.
A new era. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta and Chinese Special Envoy Wang Yi flag off the first freight train service to the just completed Naivasha Inland Container Depot. The service will have 2 freight trains daily to the inland depot, which is expected to ease congestion at the port of Mombasa and spur economic growth within the corridor.
As we mark the completion of the Naivasha Inland Container Depot and the commencement of the freight operations to Naivasha, it is our expectation that these new transport infrastructure facilities will significantly support and provide anchorage for the development of the Naivasha Industrial Park.
Built and funded by China at a cost of $1.5 billion, the 120-kilometer line, part of the Belt and Road Initiative, will serve freight cargo destined for Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
中肯友谊源远流长，合作
China and Kenya enjoy time-honored friendship and fruitful cooperation. As President Xi pointed out on many occasions, China always follows the principle of sincerity, real results and good faith, and that of pursuing the greater good and shared interest to forge ahead with solidifying with African countries.
Importers will pay $600 to haul a 20-foot container to Naivasha from the port of Mombasa, while a 40-foot container will cost between $850 and $910. From the ICD, cargo will be ferried by road to neighboring countries as the government embarks on plans to revamp the old meter gauge rail line to the border with Uganda. President Kenyatta commissioned the passenger service to Naivasha in mid-October.
A volunteer in Uganda is helping refugees with life skills to make a living in the capital, Kampala. Catherine Kabayana trains more than 100 urban refugee girls in craft making. Reporter Hilary Yesiga has the story.
Stitching lives together. For the past 4 years, Catherine Kabanyana has been volunteering with the charity Soccer Without Borders.
For their families to move in Kampala, try to find small businesses to raise their family, they give up relief. So they go through a lot of situations, traumatic events. Some of them end up staying with families they are not related to.
Kabanyana spends much of her time training these young people on how to make crafts. She believes learning this skill could help them become future entrepreneurs. They design bags using pieces of African fabric, old sacks, and plastic bottle tops. The products are then sold at a local crafts market.
We make bags, and when we have visitors come to our program, we sell the bags, and then after selling the bags, we use the proceeds to buy new material and buy them a sanitary pack.
It's helped equip these girls with some valuable skills.
I have even made a earring for my mom. She always wears it at Sunday, a necklace. It makes me happy to see that she's wearing something I made on my own.
Uganda is home to about 1.5 million refugees. Close to 100,000 of them live in cities. And as this number grows, so will the demand for many of them to learn a skill or a trade, allowing them to build a future here in Uganda.
For 20 years now, Christmas in Cape Town has been made memorable each year by carols by candlelight at the Stellenbosch Botanical Gardens. The Rotary Club organizes the event as part of its fundraising activities, and thousands of visitors flock to the venue each year, and this year has not been any different. Rennie Dale Kame reports.
Carols at Kirstenbosch started with a crowd of around 300 people 3 decades ago, and now attracts over 5,000 people to each of its much-loved summertime events.
The event is there to sing carols in joy family, and that is what December and the Christmas holidays is all about. So we always encourage people to come and picnic, enjoy festivities, but just enjoy the atmosphere of Cape Town and Kirstenbosch Gardens.
Families and friends, armed with picnic baskets and Christmas hats, come from far and wide to sing along to their favorite Christmas carols and get into the festive mood. This year, the entertainment also included members of Cape Town Concert Brass and the Cape Town Male Voice Choir.
Singing Christmas carols at the Kirstenbosch National Botanical Gardens in Cape Town in December has become a tradition in the past 31 years. And for many locals and tourists, it just wouldn't be Christmas without carols at Kirstenbosch.
This event brings people from all over the world. When they come on holiday, people look forward to coming to carols, so they can start their holiday season by singing carols. And this event has become a event on the calendar of the Cape Tourism. So we really enjoy offering this event to the public of Cape Town and the world.
The vibe is absolutely amazing. I feel like I want to get up and dance, and yeah, it feels like Christmas. Absolutely feels like Christmas.
Definitely. Yes, this is a nice welcome to Cape Town to be here on my first night in the view. It's incredible, and yes, it's getting us in the spirit of Christmas, and it's lovely just to be surrounded with all the festivities and the music.
It's phenomenal being here in Kirstenbosch. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Joy, joy, joy. And in the spirit of giving and sharing during the festive season, all proceeds from the Carols at Kirstenbosch event goes to charity every year to help improve the lives of the needy in and around Cape Town.
When we return, international news. Trump's impeachment vote gets underway. And later, sports. Tunisian club finished 5th in World Club Cup.
Welcome back. This is CNN News. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump is on the way to being impeached, and this will make him the third ever U.S. president to carry that label. After official impeachment has been announced, Trump will wait for the trial in the Republican-led Senate, where he is poised to get away with his crimes. Republican senators have sworn openly they would not be fair jurors and would not consider the mountain of evidence and damaging testimonies that was presented throughout the impeachment hearings. Former impeachments will bring to a close months of acrimonious and often bitter exchanges between the president and his accusers. All the way through the impeachment process, President Trump abused, hounded, and hounded his accusers and described the impeachment process a witch hunt and a hoax. In the end, no amount of holding, theatrics, and denial by the president could prevent the shadow of history from falling over his White House, as the Democratic-led House of Representatives ready to do the expected. Knowing the die is cast, Trump sent a 6-page venom-laced letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Tuesday, in which he called the Democrats names and tried to seal the impeachment process and the testimonies and physical evidence that hid him in. Trump will join the exclusive 3-member club of impeached Presidents Andrew Johnson in 1868 and Bill Clinton in 1999. President Richard Nixon, who would have been the 4th, resigned in 1974 before the House could vote to impeach him. The 3-day first-ever Global Refugee Forum wraps up in Geneva, Switzerland on Wednesday. The forum focused on how to transform the way the world responds to refugee situations.
Well, this is the first ever Global Refugee Forum. It has been organized by the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Refugees, as well as the government of Switzerland. And the idea behind this forum is to change the way that the world responds to refugee situations.
The Global Refugee Forum is a historic moment. One of our key messages is to say that every action counts and everyone counts. We're looking to bring together refugees, civil society, the UN, and the private sector, and bringing them to the table to find solutions with and for refugees.
There are some 70 million people that have been displaced by war, conflict, or persecution around the world, and of them 25 million are refugees, including many of them, of course, are children. And a lot of refugees, they have faced very serious issues. Some of them don't have ID documents. Many of them don't have access to jobs and to education. Well, the United Nations wants to change this, and this is what this forum is all about. It hopes for contributions from participants and from the public, financial pledges, but also legal and policy changes that would help improve the lives of refugees and to make sure that their human rights are being upheld. So indeed, the United Nations is hoping for international solidarity when it comes to refugees. And already there's been some pledges by the World Bank and by some companies in the private sector, and more than 3,000 participants have been registered for this forum. So indeed, they include refugees themselves, as well as government representatives, civil society representatives, as well as business leaders. And there are more than 100 companies present in Geneva at this forum to make pledges around jobs and finance as well. Leaders from Costa Rica, Ethiopia, Pakistan, Turkey and Germany are also attending this forum.
British Airways and China Southern Airlines have signed a joint business agreement that will deepen their cooperation. The joint venture also means the airlines will work together in things like scheduling, pricing, marketing and customer service. Reporter Shen Yibin has the details.
Beijing's new airport will soon see a lot more air and food traffic. Two major international airlines signed a business agreement at Daxing International Airport on Tuesday. The deal between China Southern and British Airways allows code share on their 14 flight routes. Both airlines say they will cooperate on scheduling and pricing, providing customers with more flexible flight options, an attractive range of fares, and enhanced frequent flyer benefits.
The alliance will open up more frequent flights between the two countries, helping passengers reach more destinations, either in China, the UK or other parts of Europe.
We're looking forward to, after signing this joint business, to be able to implement and be able to offer that seamless service for both of our customers.
In recent years, the China to UK air travel market has grown rapidly. From September of 2018 to August of this year, there were about 2.4 million trips between the two countries, a year-on-year increase of over 18%. That has prompted both airlines to seek more joint business in Asia, especially in China. The customers will initially benefit from 31 direct flights a week between London and 6 Chinese locations. This will expand both airlines' extensive networks.
We will have more strategic partners to build our international route networks together.
It's the second such deal reached between the two airlines since launching the previous code-shared agreement in 2017.
The deal came after both moved their hubs to Beijing's Daxing International Airport, the world's largest single-terminal airport, which just opened in September. And they hope to make this an opportunity to increase cooperation and bring more conveniences.
Up next, sport. Tunisian club Esperance finished 5th in World Club Cup. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. In sport, Amdi Alouni scored a hat-trick as Tunisia's Esperance Sportive de Tunis finished 5th in the Club World Cup. Alouni is the 4th player to score a Club World Cup hat-trick after Luis Suarez in 2015, Cristiano Ronaldo 12 months later, and Gareth Bale last year. Arsenal have been in contact with Manchester City assistant boss Mikel Arteta for the past few days. Football enthusiasts say he might be the next head coach for the Gunners. Arteta has reportedly already identified transfer targets for Arsenal and has discussed this with the board ahead of getting the manager's job. Freddie Jumberg has been in temporary charge of the Gunners since Unai Emery was sacked, but results has been poor under the Swede. Arteta is planning a total reshuffle once on board.